Welcome back to Political Paradigm. I'm now being joined by former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Kola Ologbodinyo. Mr. Ologbodinyo, welcome to Political Paradigm.
Thank you very much, Terry. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I couldn't help but notice that you were in somewhat of a disagreement with Mr. Yabagi Sani on some of the things he said, especially with regard to how political parties should act concerning the state capture that's now being propagated. What do you say to that?
No. I just told him that it's a lazy man argument to say that, oh, because of what's perceived as state capture. So politicians should not bother because the sitting president has taken over. It doesn't make sense to you. And I told him right away, it doesn't make sense to me. If we agree to that, then he doesn't need to be a party chairman. Then any other party should exist. Then everybody should pack their things and go and sit down at home. Then that one party state that will fare most will now become operational. Because if I go by his argument, that's what he's saying. And he went for that to say, oh, look at the National Assembly. They are representatives. It is the people who will decide their return. Whether they will come back or not will be decided by the people. So if as a party leader, you are already saying that 2 years ahead of the election, or 1 clear year ahead of the election, you're already saying that, oh, the sitting president has taken over everything. I don't buy into that.
Are you saying that the sitting president has not taken over everything, or you're proposing a solution to him taking over everything?
I am telling him that he should go and mobilize his own party.
No, I'm asking you.
Yes.
Because even your party is not well mobilized, if we're being honest.
Yes.
So the question is, what is the way forward? Because I like to think you agree that with him, that certain aspects of the polity, as many have canvassed, have been hijacked by one party.
Yes.
The All Progressives Congress.
Yes.
So what is the move for political parties?
The move is very straight now. Terry, go and mobilize a member of your own party. If you are going into a coalition, go into a coalition. If you are fighting as individual parties and you think you can make a difference, go and fight as individual parties and see how you can make a difference. It's absolutely misplaced to now sit down and tell Nigerians that
all hope is lost.
All of us, we have lost it too. But we have not even started registration of voters or improvement on the register of already registered voters. I agree that there are challenges in the process, but it's not a summation. It should not be a summation that, oh, let's quickly forget it because a particular person has taken over. How do you say that in the country of over 200 million people?
There's something else he said, and I'd like to take you up on it as a party man yourself, and it has to do with membership of political parties. He thinks it's questionable. The membership of political parties should be questioned because some political parties, as much as pay people to be members or to be delegates and all that. And I don't know how it is in the People's Democratic Party, but can you vouch for the membership of the People's Democratic Party? And are there dues-paying members of your party up to date?
Terry, the People's Democratic Party membership is organic. I can say that anyway. But when it comes to the issue of election, it's a different ballgame entirely. When it comes to the issue of delegates, choosing who they will vote for, it's also a different case entirely. But when you talk about membership, I can say it clearly that among all the registered political parties in Nigeria, none, and I mean none, even as we speak, in spite of the crisis that has enveloped the People's Democratic Party, its membership, the members are standing strong. The challenge in the PDP is leadership, and we have to accept that.
So let me ask you a question. When you say elections and delegates are a different ballgame, what do you mean?
What I mean is that, look, you must mobilize delegates to election. And mobilization can include spending of money. But it is different from saying that, oh, okay, membership are not organic.
Is it normal practice, global best practice for delegates to be mobilized?
I will not say it is normal practice. But the unfortunate situation is that it is a practice here in our election.
You condemn the practice?
So of course now. By so doing, and that's what you can see that is happening now under this government. Weaponizing poverty, weaponizing hunger, so that when election time comes, they bring out money. People will then tend to forget the suffering they have gone through.
How does that affect mobilization of delegates for your party? Because I'm asking you directly about your party.
Yeah, yes.
And for your party, you already agree that it's not global best practice for delegates to be mobilized by individuals because then they don't have a mind of their own. Is your party going to continue this, or is it something that can change over time?
It's a domestically global issue. It's not an issue that, one party can say, okay, we'll do it like this, and we'll do it, and that's the way it's going to be. If you do it that way, another party is doing it.
No, I'm asking about the people.
No, wait, I would have to lay the foundation for you, Terry. I need to lay the foundation.
You know you can't speak for other parties. No, I want you to speak for the PDP.
No, I have to lay the foundation for you. And I'm saying that if you say, in my own party, People's Democratic Party, you want to change the tradition. You want a situation in which even delegate votes will count in a manner that it is predicated on the conviction of the delegates. But even that one is neither here nor there, Terry, because you have seen situations, even in my own party, where people give delegates money and they still proceed to vote their conscience. You can find that. So it's a different ballgame here and there. You understand? You can also find a situation where people weigh which of the delegates, which of the aspirants' influence is heavier, and they decide the votes in that manner. Are you getting it? So there's no need to pretend about all this. It happens everywhere. The rain is falling everywhere.
Okay.
So it's like, even in the APC, they do similar things too. It's only the smaller parties like the ADP that Chief Yabagi just spoke for that. Maybe you might not find such a situation.
And the reason is?
And the reason is that membership is low.
Okay.
And at the election, there's a tendency that there's little or no competition. And people can just say, okay, I can't get tickets in the PDP, I can't get tickets in the APC. Okay, let me look at where I can get tickets. You just go there, pick the ticket and contest.
You know, that's a sad reality in Nigeria.
Yeah, it's a very, very sad reality. And that is why when people get into offices, maybe as president, I'm sure you heard Rufai when he was complaining about the presidency of Bola Tinubu, that he cannot recognize his party again. You understand? So the challenge had always been there. You understand? In a manner that, people are elected into the National Assembly. They don't care about the party any longer. People are elected governors. They create another platform. They forget the one that brought them to power. They create the platform. They relate to that. These are challenges confronting our democracy.
Okay, let's do a little more party politics and go into your party proper now. I'd like to get your reaction to the Supreme Court ruling on emphasizing that the National Secretary is Senator Sam Anyanwu. I want to ask a direct question. Is this a victory for the party in general?
I'm not aware.
Of what?
That the Supreme Court judgment conferred National Secretaryship on Senator Sam Anyanwu.
What are you aware of?
What I'm aware of is that party are at the liberty to decide who their members and their leaders are. That is the interpretation that my own party, the People's Democratic Party, has given to that through the official spokesperson of the party, Barrister Debo Ologunagba. And as a party member, I stand by that.
So I'm trying to get the statement from the National Working Committee on that, because they refuted that statement from Debo.
Which National Working Committee refuted it?
You're not aware that your party refuted that, saying that they stand by the Supreme Court order?
Terry, the party has not retracted that statement. Let me tell you how these things work. You understand? If Debo Ologunagba, on behalf of the NWC, make any pronouncement that the party doesn't agree with, you know the reversal order? The reversal order is that the neck has to sit.
Okay, so let's just clear this issue of whether your party has spoken or not. The Deputy National Publicity Secretary issued a statement where he says the PDP National Working Committee thanks the Supreme Court for affirming that the PDP National Working Committee does not recognize Senator Sam Anyanwu, Ibrahim Abdullahi, the Deputy National Secretary.
But Friday say now, Friday covers PDP.
Yeah, but there are two statements. There are two statements from both of them.
Wait. There are three statements, and I will explain it for you. There are three statements, Terry. I'm sure Friday, your correspondent in the People's Democratic Party must have the party's constitution. You understand? In this case that you are referring to, there are 3 statements.
Okay.
First statement came from Debo, the official spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party. And whatever, I'm saying this on record, whatever Debo, as spokesperson of the party, says, his deputy cannot reverse it. They cannot reverse it. But having laid that...
But that suggests that there's the crack in the NWC still exists.
Even the deputy is not a member of NWC. He's a member of NEC. He's not a member of NWC. People need to understand these issues. So let me make the point clearer for you. So now, Labour made that statement. There was another statement claiming that they have reversed that statement, which is what you just read.
Yes.
There's a third statement from the same chap saying that he did not issue that first statement. I don't know why I didn't bring my phone in. I would have opened the messages and showed them to you. You understand? Abdullahi has come out to say that that first statement, which they claim reversed the statement of Debo Olugun Agba, didn't come from him, and you can reconfirm it. So, on the face of that, in fact, he even made an advice, and I held tenaciously to that advice. He said, even if Supreme Court said that Sam Anyanwu is National Secretary, he said Sam Anyanwu who needs the family, the PDP as a family, for him to be able to sustain it. Do you get that? So that is factual. So all this noise, all this hawking...
So you're saying that the PDP recognizes Udo Okoye as its national secretary?
Look, the party has organs. You understand? One, the working committee came out and ratified Udo Okoye as the national secretary. Are you getting it? After the National Working Committee, the Board of Trustees came out and ratified Udo Okoye. I'm sure you remember, I don't know, well, I'm sure you should remember, that the Governors Forum, the most influential group in the People's Democratic Party, because they are not officially an organ, but they are the most influential group in the PDP, went to Delta State, held a meeting, and at that meeting, ratified Udo Okoye. And you must also know, it's an established fact, that whatever the National Working Committee says, you understand, where the NEC is supposed to do something, to say something, and the National Working Committee has come to say it, what NWC has said, because it can act on behalf of the National Executive Committee. We now proceed to the National Executive Committee for either ratification or dismissal.
Okay.
Do you get that? So these are the issues. They are well laid out. Forget all the people who are hawking around and saying that a party does this, party does that. It's absolutely wrong.
Let me ask you. I want to get a quick reaction because time really flies to the issue in Rivers State. Yeah. And while I know your party has issued a statement in that regard, when the Governors Forum, the PDP Governors Forum has issued a statement condemning the action of the president. Some argue that the outcome of it is relative peace so far since that announcement. What do you think about that?
My position on the state of emergency.
State of emergency.
It's an absurdity. Very clearly, that state of emergency is an absurdity. It's not captured in law. And I'm afraid for this democracy. Now, this is very personal to me. Anyway, I don't even speak for the party. This is very personal to me. Because we wake up one day in this country and the National Assembly will declare the birthday of President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a national holiday. It will happen. Because if they can collect, there are allegations in public space that parliamentarians were paid between $10,000 and $5,000 to form their decisions. And if we have reduced the parliament...
But your party members were there. They voted for it. And in fact, they made amendments. They made amendments to proposal by the president,
Just as
believing that it would foster peace.
Just as my party members were also there, who walked out of that shame. Have you not read that? Have you not read the account of party PDP members who said they walked out? Have you not read it?
In what chamber?
Who even said that?
In which chamber?
In both chambers?
No.
Okay, at least in the Senate chamber. At least you agree to that one.
I would agree to an extent.
So, and they even went to the extent, apart from walking out, of coming out to state their own stance. And they even said, in some cases, that they didn't even have the quorum to sit, particularly in the Senate. Even in the House, there are challenges to that. It is totally unfortunate, and it's disgraceful that the National Assembly can be pushed to that limit.
Okay, so we're almost out of time, but I cannot leave here without asking you about the plan to recall Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan.
Well, I don't know. You know, I had the privilege of reporting the National Assembly, just like you do. And I also had the privilege of serving as an advisor to a Senate president for 8 years. But you know, you cannot take anything beyond this current government. Outside of that, recall is, just as creation of state, is almost impossible. Let's put it at that. But you know, you are under a system of government where machinations have become the currency of governance. So you can never say this can happen or this cannot happen. You understand? But be it as it may, if the pattern, if the rule is the guidance, I can clearly tell you that recall of parliamentarian is nearly impossible. Look at the case of Dino Melaye, senator. You understand? So it's the same thing. It was not possible. It was not achievable. So I say possibility of this not being achievable. But with all the shenanigans that's going on now, you never can tell because we are not in the.
So you won't be surprised if the recall goes through.
I will still be in shock that this can happen. You understand? Because I know that procedurally, in a normal situation, it should not happen.
But what do you think about the whole saga, anyways? Because you're Kogi as well.
Yeah.
And that's your, as they say, your sister.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how we have, it's almost like this has pit Kogi people against Kogi people. Understandably so for many, because she's of the opposition in Kogi State. So some are saying the voice of Esau, the hand of Jacob, or the hand of Jacob, the voice of Esau in this. Do you think that the state government in this?
Well, I honestly, and I'm saying this matter of factly, I've seen situations in the social media in which the state government was being dragged. But me, I see what is happening as a fallout of what happened on the floor. And until now, from the beginning, I have blamed the Senate president for inability to manage the floor. And I have not departed from that. I think that's what brought the situation of the National Assembly to where it is. And I've also said now on another platform that since Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and the presiding officer, Senator Godswill Akpabio, have a relationship from the account they have given in public space, they should go back there. They should return to that relationship and find a solution, first and foremost there. Otherwise, I don't want to add this.
Mr. Kola Ologbodinyan, I'd like to thank you very much for coming on Political Paradigm. And thank you for allowing me to pull you out from I really did pull you out. Mr. Ologbodinyan, you're most welcome. Mr. Ologbodinyan is the former National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party.